Okay, imagine this. You're a real estate developer, and you've just snagged a prime, empty plot of land right in the heart of Tokyo. It's the dream. But it also comes with one massive question. What do you actually build here to make the most money? Should you build tall, go for luxury finishes, or keep it simple, lean and cost-effective? This is the exact kind of high-stakes problem developers wrestle with every single day.
And believe me, this isn't just about what looks good. Making the wrong call here isn't just a design oopsie, it's a multi-billion yen puzzle. The pressure is immense. So, how do you solve it? Well, like any good puzzle or game, you first have to know how to win. You gotta know how to keep score.
So let's talk about the single most important number for this whole thing. NOI, or net operating income. In plain English, it's the building's yearly profit. That's it. It's the total rent you bring in, minus all the costs to run the place. Our goal, our high score, is to get this number as high as we possibly can. Now, to figure this all out, we're not just throwing darts at a board. We're going to run a simulation based on what a real developer would do. And of course, every good simulation needs a clear set of rules. All right, so here are the ground rules. We've got our specific site, about 3,500 square meters, right near a train station. The mission is to build between 110 and 150 rental apartments, plus some shops on the ground floor. The main goal, just like we said, maximize that yearly profit, the NOI. But here's the kicker. There's a huge constraint. We have to do it all without going over budget. And that budget isn't just one static number. We're going to test this against 3 different scenarios. First, a super tight, lean budget of 5.5 billion yen. Then, a more typical base budget of 6.25 billion. And finally, a stretch budget of 7 billion yen, for when you have a bit more to play with. As you'll see, the winning design might totally change depending on how much cash we have. Okay, now for the really fun part. We're going to pit 4 totally different building designs against each other in this simulation. It's a proper showdown. Let's meet our contenders. So we've got 4 different game plans. Scheme A is our bread and butter, cost-efficient model. Scheme B is a little taller, a more balanced approach. Scheme C is the ambitious one, aiming for premium rents with a steel structure. And then there's Scheme D, which is actually shorter, a low-density play. And notice that detail. 3 of them use reinforced concrete, but Scheme C uses steel. That's going to be a really, really big deal. Yeah, that choice between reinforced concrete, or RC, and steel is absolutely fundamental. Think of RC as the workhorse. It's cost-efficient, it's reliable, it's perfect for these kinds of mid-rise buildings like A, B, and D. Steel, which we see in our premium Scheme C, is more expensive, no doubt, but it lets you build taller, lighter, and get a bit more creative with the design. It's that classic trade-off. Do you save money, or do you shoot for the stars? All right, we know the strategies, but to really understand which one is going to come out on top, we have to follow the money. So let's break down exactly where all those billions of yen are going. I love this chart. It's so clear. Each of these bars represents one of our building designs, and all those colored blocks, that's where every single yen goes. From buying the land itself, to the steel, the fancy windows, even things like marketing and design fees. I bet your eye goes straight to that tallest bar, right? That's Scheme C, our premium steel option, and it clocks in at a jaw-dropping 9.92 billion yen. So the question is, why is it so much more expensive than everything else? Well, let's zoom in. The biggest culprit by a country mile is the structural cost. Over 5 billion yen just for the steel frame and floors. On top of that, you've got a hefty premium for that slicker facade, and of course, the soft costs. All the fees for architects and engineers, they scale up too. And this just perfectly illustrates the trade-offs in development. See, if you want those extra floors with the amazing views that people pay top dollar for, well, you need that more expensive steel structure to support them. You also need more elevators to get people up there, and that's another huge cost. Every single design choice has a price tag. Okay, the stage is set. We know our contenders, we've seen their price tags. Now it's time for the main event. Let's find out which design actually makes the most money for each of our budgets. This chart right here is where we find our answer. It's actually pretty simple. Along the bottom, you have the total cost to build. And going up the side, you've got that annual profit, our NOI. So where do we want to be? Simple. We want to be as high up as possible, that's more profit, and as far to the left as possible, that's less cost. High and to the left is the sweet spot. So the rule of the game is easy. You see those vertical dotted lines? Those are our 3 budgets.
For each budget, we just need to find the highest dot, the most profitable option that sits to the left of that line, meaning it's a design we can actually afford to build. Okay, first up, the lean budget, 5.5 billion yen. Look to the left of that first line. It's kind of lonely over there. There is only one dot we can afford. Scheme D, our shorter, low-density building. So in this case, the most profitable choice is also the only choice. All right, let's move to our base budget of 6.25 billion. Now things get interesting. A few more options pop into our price range. But look closely. The highest dot, the one generating the most profit, is still Scheme D. This is such a critical lesson. Spending more money does not automatically mean you make more profit. In fact, the more expensive Scheme A is actually less profitable. And finally, the stretch budget, 7 billion yen. Only when we have this much capital to work with does a new champion finally emerge. Scheme C, our expensive, premium steel building, is finally affordable. And because it's the highest dot on the entire chart, it delivers the absolute maximum profit possible. The big, ambitious strategy only pays off if you have the big budget to back it up. So what did we learn from all this? After running all 4 of these buildings through the gauntlet, what's the big takeaway? Well, it's a little more subtle than you might first think. Here's the core lesson. The best building isn't necessarily the tallest one or the biggest one or the one with the fanciest lobby. The most profitable building is the one that is perfectly, exquisitely optimized for the specific budget you have to work with. It's not just about construction anymore. It's a science of optimization. And that leaves us with one last, much bigger question. We just use this incredibly powerful way of thinking, balancing all these costs and goals and constraints to find the perfect design for one little plot of land. So, what if we applied that same data-driven optimization mindset to our city's biggest challenges? Things like public transit or affordable housing or creating more parks. What could we build then?